Donald Trump becoming a liability? This is a question is posed by the public in America. Why the 25th Amendment is back in the spotlight? For years, Donald Trump has been known for speaking off the cuff. His supporters call it authenticity. His critic calls it recklessness. But over the past few months, something different has begun to worry even the seasoned political observers. It is no longer just a controversial statement. It is a pattern of repeated confusion, verbal mix-up, and moments of apparent disorientation, many of them occurring on the world stage. The latest episode unfolded at the NATO summit in Ankara, Turkey. Standing before the world leader, standing before the world leaders during one of the most sensitive security meetings in the recent history, President Trump made series of remarkable mistakes. While discussing missile attacks in the Middle East, he referred to Islamic Republic of Japan, apparently confusing Japan with Iran. Moments later, seated next to Ukraine President Zelensky, Trump repeatedly asked the reporters whether they had any questions for President Putin. I don't know how he kept quiet because he was referring to his enemy number one. The leader sitting beside him was Zelensky. He also stumbled over the names of Iran's nuclear agreement, calling JCPOA the JCPOC, and even referred to TikTok as Tic Tac. The embarrassment did not end there. As the leaders arrived for the summit, cameras captured Turkish President Erdogan gently taking Trump by the arm and redirecting him after he appeared to walk in the wrong direction. The video spreads across the world within minutes. These incidents are not isolated. In the recent month, Trump also made an unusual chronological claim, including suggesting that he had served as president 3 times. Other viral videos have shown abrupt hand movements where he appeared usually fatigued, long pause during official ceremonies, and periods where he seemed to lose focus during the international event. Taken individually, any politicians can make verbal mistakes. Everyone occasionally forgets names or mix up words. But neurologists often point out that what raises concern is not single mistake, it is repeated pattern. President's confusion between familiar people, difficulty in recalling basic facts, mixing related subjects, losing one's train of thoughts, problem with orientation, increasing repetition, and episodes of apparent disorientation. These symptoms can have many possible explanations. They do not by themselves prove that a person has dementia. Only qualified medical evaluation can determine the cause. However, critics argue that when such an incident involves the President of the United States, particularly during the period of international conflicts, they inevitably raise questions about presidential fitness. The commander-in-chief of the world's powerful military may have to make life and death decisions within minutes. In a major military crisis, there is little room for confusion or hesitation. This is precisely why America's Constitution contains an emergency provision known as Section 4 of 25th Amendment. Unlike impeachment, provision is not about crimes. It is about incapacity. The vice president and a majority of the cabinet concludes that the president is unable to discharge powers and duties of the office. They can declare the vice president. They can declare the vice president as acting president. If the president contests that decision, Congress would then have to hold it with a two-thirds majority in both houses, a threshold so high that the provision has never been successfully used against a sitting president. Today, some lawmakers, commentators have reviewed discussion of this constitutional mechanism in response to Trump's recent public appearances. Whether those concerns are justified remains the subject of intense political and public debate. But one thing is beyond dispute. When the President of the United States repeatedly appears confused before the entire world, especially during NATO summit held at a time global instability, the question of presidential fitness inevitably becomes a part of the national conversation. This is Ned. See you with more videos. Thank you.